What is up, guys? How are you doing? Happy holidays. It is Christmas time, and Christmas came a little early this year. This video that I'm about to show you guys is really going to change my business for 2021 and beyond. I already started transitioning all of my clients into this because, this is going to be the way I do business moving forward. This is what I've been looking for, honestly, for the past couple of years, because I've just been trading, my time for money using Upwork and other platforms. But essentially, it's a time trade, right? They're hiring me to work on consulting stuff, and I'm doing projects, and it's awesome, and I love being compensated for my time. But if I'm not working, I'm not being paid generally. We've talked about other, what I call dividends for freelancers in the past, and that's how to kind of get a residual play. And typically in the past, this would come from referrals to software. So if we got like an affiliate sale or something like that, and you're talking like maybe 20 to 40, maybe 50% of the lifetime purchase, which is awesome. And these are things that we've been working into our project. So if I try to get someone onto an active campaign contract or an Infusionsoft contract, I'm a partner for both of these companies. So in the past, it's just been like, okay, these are great platforms. I'm going to hook them up with them because this is what I use. This is what I'm used to. I can put all of my, thoughts onto these in regards to the campaigns that we're launching, the promotions, the webinars, this, that, the lead capture, all of that. It's usually tied back to these CRM platforms. And if you watch, the other videos that I'm doing, like that's 80, 90% of what I'm doing is building these automation tools. And typically, like I said, I would just have an affiliate set up where I'm maybe collecting some revenue, but who knows? And the issue with, I think, consulting just in general, and like I said, trading that time for money, it's feast or famine. You're either getting crazy contracts, and all these clients seem to be getting you like all in the same week, and they're like, I want you. And then some weeks the projects are done. And you're just like, okay, I need to figure out where to get work. And it all sucks, right? Because it seems like you're either rushing around or you're like, shit, I gotta find work. And so what I discovered in the last couple weeks from actually my buddy, Phil Laboon, who we do the podcast with, he showed me this. At first, he always comes up with these crazy ideas, and he's always moving, and he's great. And he told me about this software. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to talk about this new platform that is going to take the place, maybe 80 to 90% of the other platforms that I've been using for the last decade. And I'm going to completely change my business and the way I work with clients and the way I do basically everything. The way I set up my contracts, the way I negotiate, the way I think about my monetary compensation, it's all gonna change. It's all done, and this is exactly what I've been searching for. So if you've ever worked with software and software as a service, you know that it is basically a money-making machine if you can give software that is good and helps whoever is buying it. So again, I go back to the platforms that I was using, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, these platforms that I was paying a lot of money for my own stuff, and also my clients were paying a lot of money for. Okay, so we're both giving money to these platforms. So we're saying the CRM has been essentially the core component of here. We're talking probably a couple $100, unless you're just like really starting out. Very, very minimum, you're talking $30, okay? To probably, as you get a lot of leads, because that's what a lot of these businesses are, doing and hiring me to do, is to set up sales funnels. So we have sales funnels, and that also consists of web pages, landing pages, I'd say email automation. That's a big part of it, at least of the stuff that I'm doing. Sales funnels consisting of web pages, landing pages, email automations, promotion building, because these things are going to allow for events to happen where you could set up different kind of scarce marketing plays where it's like take action now, and that can be baked into time, or it could be baked into quantity. If maybe you're doing appointments and you can only take so many things. So we have, again, going back to the cost of everything. My son just takes caps off and doesn't replace them, so half these things are like half dried out. Anyway, so we have $29 at least for the CRM, okay? And that's per month. And that goes up to probably, for at least the companies that I'm working with, which are small, medium business companies, SMBs, they're paying maybe $500 for their CRM stuff. Mostly just the email automation, and I didn't even write it down here, but also the internal CRM strategies, like if they have different steps and pipelines of their internal process. For instance, if it's a lawyer and they are trying to, the client's a lawyer, and they're trying to get different appointments, but after the appointments, there's a specific chain of events that happen. This happens a lot also in my insurance company, clients and things like that, where, the whole internal process, like internal people are getting emails, they're getting tags, they're getting kind of, different alerts that are being sent to them. So that whole kind of structure, and I call usually these sales funnels and things like that, the backbone of your entire digital marketing strategy. So, because if you don't have this spinal column, like you can't build a dynamic body of digital marketing, because it all kind of relates and works together as a body, as a source. And so, but when when you look at it from the top down, so, this is the spinal column and this is the bone marrow, I guess, right? So kind of branching out from it, you have the CRM based cost, and then you have the scheduling software. And that could be like Calendly or Schedule Now or a bunch of other stuff, because you want it to integrate into your Google and your different calendars, iPhones. So that's important, because again, a lot of my clients need to make that part of their sales funnel strategy. So we have your CRM, web page builders. So you're talking maybe WordPress, you're talking maybe Shopify, you're talking maybe ClickFunnels. And the same with the web page and builders. They're kind of coming, as one, especially with the sales funnels process, because you want to have a checkout process that works, has an upsell. So let's just put that down here too. Just like a sales page that works, right? So checkout, and what happens after the checkout? Are they getting access to memberships? So let's put that down here too. Memberships, right? Okay. So you have memberships, and that stuff has to work, right? Like, so, as they're going through these processes, you're going to need to tag them and tell people, like, talk to people differently through the email and the automation and the text messaging also. So let's put that down here. Text messaging, because you're going to want to alert them in different ways depending on where they are in these sales funnel situations, because you have email, you have options, you have phone options, you have text messaging. Again, it all works together. It has to, if you want it to work well, if you want to have it convert higher. And that's why they hire people like me, because we make everything higher. Cool. So we have WordPress or Shopify, and that's maybe, WordPress is free, but you have to hire someone, at least you have to do it. So there's definitely time there. You have to put a cost to that time. So what is that per hour? That could be maybe how much are you worth? Like $100 an hour, or maybe you get someone pretty low level, at least $10 an hour. Someone's working on that. And if you want it to function well, you probably have to think about sinking at least a couple $100s in it to a month. Just in terms of like, I want to update it with content, have things fresh, change things, split test things, there's always containment type tasks that you want to do. So let's call that $200 per month. Then we have, again, like the texting stuff, like a Twilio integration, let's just call it 50 to 100. Okay. And then you also have the checkout stuff. And again, if you see my other videos, just the checkout specific, because I want to put that there. Because we also have Samcart, which I usually recommend. And that's like, that's like 159 right there per month. Okay. Because the reason why you pay that much is because it manages the products and you can do the upsell stuff, downsell stuff, just like the ClickFunnels, which if you were paying for ClickFunnels, that's 97, 159. Plus, usually if you have the ClickFunnels, you also need a regular nice web page, which the ClickFunnels can offer. And to add in the membership stuff here, again, really sorry that you can't really read this, but I will take a picture and add it to the video. The membership stuff is also expensive because that could be a MemberPress license or something like that, which again, that's what I normally would refer to in the past to attach it to the Shopify or the WordPress. Sorry, not Shopify, just the WordPress. And then, that would go into with the CRM, with all, usually ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft. So they would be talking. And so the membership, I think I was paying, how much for that license? Probably like $200 a year for that MemberPress license. So again, that's like, $20 a month. Okay, I know that adds up to a lot. And like I said, long story long, I guess, these all have different platforms attached to them typically. And in the past, I've been, kind of in a situation where it's like, it hasn't made sense to put everything on one platform. For instance, like a Kartra or a ConvertTree or things like that typically, like say they would like provide the environment. And maybe again, I could get an affiliate situation, but I don't want to be caught in a situation where, I'm just promoting affiliate links. Like that's really not a sustainable model in terms of like your front facing model. Because it's, is it a conflict of interest at times? Is it that cool to be like, oh, here's my like referral link? And I don't know, it's just not that cool in my sense, because it's just it seems a little slimy for some reason, because it's not your stuff. Now, I'm about to introduce you, or maybe you know about this already, but again, I'm changing everything to this new strategy. And so I am putting everything now into this new platform called HighLevel. What HighLevel offers is essentially everything that you need in this CRM, plus every single thing that we just spoke about. So it's just like what I was just hating on, like literally 2 seconds ago, the ConvertTree, the Kartra, all this stuff, because it's like, well then it's, again, kind of like a conflict of interest, because like, do I want to sink my teeth all into someone else's stuff and just be like, oh, here you go. Again, it builds off that old affiliate model. It kind of sucks. And I know they do offer some templates that you could sell people and things like that, but I've seen the people that sell these things, and it's like, I don't really want to be associated with that either, because it's just like, okay, I know what these set it and forget it models are typically, and they're usually trash because you have to like really adhere to like what they build, or it's just like, I don't know, it's a disaster from what I've seen. So, but what this does, and why it's so smart, is that they've designed this for agencies or contractors. So essentially, it becomes your own software as a service. You can now white label this entire platform. So it functions the same as, say, like your ConvertTrees or like the other extensive platforms that cover a wide range of digital marketing, landing pages, web pages, membership areas, texting, email automation, web pages, like all of it. It upsells, downsells, all the ClickFunnels stuff. That the ClickFunnels stuff is awesome because you have like that knowledge of the conversions easily available, the analytics, the dashboards are sick. So I'm going to take you through all of that stuff. But now here's the kicker, is the fact that it's all white labeled under your own brand. So if you look at Automate Scale, if you go to app.automatescale.com, you can see what I've been able to white label. And now I just am able to put all of my clients under that and build it. And then instead of charging them hourly or relying on everything in the past, which, I had to sink a lot of time, a lot of setup time, hours to make all these integrations work with these different platforms. That was where a real big chunk of my time, I think, went, versus like just being able to like kind of consult things, and then you had to bring teams in. This now makes it easy to build everything under your own roof and like essentially dish it out to your clients and just have them pay monthly so they can have access to your own software. And so you can cancel out all of the software that you were paying for, including the software that you're paying for yourself. So you can have your, all of this covered for your own business, which you should have. You should have your own sales funnels and strategies and email automation, and all these things going for your own brand. But then you can essentially take a snapshot of that and then just add another client and make another client account, and it's all under your roof. So you could just say, hey, here's access to this, $300 a month, and you can just maintain all of that. And I think that's a good starting price, because usually I'm charging $500 an hour. And what can I build in an hour usually? Like, not a lot. I can get a lot of my consulting stuff done in an hour, but in terms of building and actually like putting things in motion and getting funnels started and situated and things like that, that takes a crazy amount of time and a crazy amount of integration and testing, and that testing is a bugger, and like it's difficult. And that's why in the past I think you needed a guy like me, because you needed to have these nuances figured out, so you didn't hit any brick walls and things like that with integration. Plus you wanted to integrate my brain into, okay, what works, what doesn't work, what's the actual sales funnels process and things like that. So it's really dope, guys. So I put a link to this software, and I put my link in there because they also have a referral link. So if you wouldn't mind giving me some value to this, or some credo, that would be freaking sick also. And I would really, really appreciate that. And I would love to hear your comments on this software after you check it out, because I'm fully convinced, and I geeked out for a while, guys. Like, this is something I've been really thinking about for so long, because like I said, I don't want to just, consult and trade time for money. And like, if I'm enjoying Christmas, like, it means I'm not working. And, it's really, when you're charging $500 an hour, you're just like, okay, should I be working right now? Like, am I giving, everything's like kind of chaotic, because you're just like, oh my God, is what I'm doing right now worth my time? And that's like a really awkward way to look at your life. And as this year unfolds, this is something that I've been trying to do for a while: set up my own like standard operating procedures, and be able to allow my team to absorb some things and grow that, and just be part of more of like an organization and a framework that is sustainable, and just, again, doesn't have these like peaks and valleys that just come with trading time for money. But I'm not trying to knock it. I think that style and doing things was great for about 4 or 5 years, and I wanted to really show what I could do and build my library of stuff on Upwork, because I saw that as like the future of work. I've seen this for a while. I've been preaching Upwork way beyond this year and 2020. Like, I saw this stuff happening a while ago with just, it doesn't make sense to have to drive to cities and work in offices and spend all this time through interview processes and onboarding in the terms of like the old days. Like, you can onboard anyone from anywhere at any time, and everybody can feel empowered through this entire real life marketplace of value in real time, with I guess the freelancer, or whatever you want to call them, the contractor, having the ability of choice and not feeling that enslavement of like geo lockdown and look at what's happening in certain areas of the world. Do you really want to be forced from not only just like your healthcare and everything being tied to your company, but also just like being forced to stay in a location that suffers from a situation where you're not down with the authorities that be in that certain region, and you're just like, shit, I have to stay here for my family's sake because this is where my job is, this is where my car is, this is where my house is, blah, blah, blah. This is where my garage is. Like, when in reality, you could have that freedom, and it. You've seen my stuff. Like, you could be anywhere and do anything. And so this works in this whole strategy perfectly with that, because now I could focus on giving my same benefits and talents and just being like, okay, I can build this for someone. And now I know that there's going to be all this payoff. All this money that was going to these other companies is now just going to go in my direction. And the way HighLevel does it is that you're just paying one monthly payment or an annual payment for I think I'm going to be paying $500 a month, but I could have 100, 200 clients on here. So imagine 100 clients, do the math. If they're paying $300 a month at the lowest tier, I'm going to be adding features, but this is the first generation of, all of these different automations and stuff like that I'm going to now have templates for that I own. I'm going to have all this IP of my brain laid out in digital marketing sense, and it can just be replicated easily. I don't have to worry about integrating and setup and those 8 to 10 hours of setup for any type of funnel, for any type, for anything to get going. It just required so many different wires being put into the right areas or else fail, and to just be able to be like snapshot, place, copy, paste, and just like change certain things and, allow the customer to have certain access so they can just change things easily. That's where it's at, guys. So I'm going to have 100 people. That's my goal for 2021. To have it's just 100 clients paying $300 a month at the minimum, and see where that gets me next year. And the cool thing is, guys, what I'm going to be doing is working this right into Upwork. So they have the ability on Upwork to just have automatic weekly payments. So what I'm offering my clients right now is, instead of paying $500 an hour, which is honestly what everybody's been doing for the last couple of years, right? And that's just been my thing. Instead of that, I'm just gonna have them pay $75 a week, because you could just do automatic weekly payments. And if they stop with the payments, you can just do it as a software as a service and just discontinue that CRM. So it functions just like any other CRM situation where you would be paying monthly or yearly, but you just set it up and do the contract through Upwork. And there you go. Everybody's happy. So yeah, guys, I'm excited about this. I'm gonna go celebrate Christmas. This was a gift. This whole, I think, serendipity of this software and the CRM was exactly what I've been looking for. I am thrilled. I know you are busy. Get to Christmas. 2021 is going to be a super, super special year, because it is going to be a year of empowerment, especially for consultants and marketers. I know there's so many people that do this stuff for a living and know like ActiveCampaign and Infusionsoft and this and that. I've been there. I know all these platforms, ClickFunnels, WordPress, all of them. Like, I know that, like, this is what I do, and I am switching. I am getting away from that stuff, and I'm going full force into this, because if I get 100 clients paying $300 a month, like, I'm good. And then imagine if I get 100 more clients next year, or maybe I systematize it and make it better, or I add to current customers and see where that gets me too. A lot of options there. A lot of options if you're tying that. And then imagine your score on Upwork. If all these people are paying this much money, you will rise to the top. There are hundreds of thousands of businesses posting jobs on Upwork as we speak. It's crazy. It's like we're reaching just unfathomable levels of hiring on there, and they're going to be tied into different organizations. This is what they're going to want to grab and get. You can tie this into your product catalog offerings. It's going to be sick. And that's what I'm going to do next, actually, is offer these different things into my product catalogs as like a step process. So I could just do a single little funnel that's on my terms, on my system, that edges them into this framework and this entire environment instead of the old ways. So there you go, guys. Hope that was cogent and clear and good. I'm super thrilled if you can't tell, and let me know what you think. Peace out. Enjoy your Christmas. Have a great new year, 2020. What a freaking year. Case closed, and welcome 2021. And yeah, thanks guys. Bye-bye.